A lot of people tell me that one of the things that they miss about being in the office is just being able to overhear the conversations that are happening around them. And so today I want to focus on how do we simulate that overhearing experience online. Now, the way I want to start is by talking about the benefits of overhearing in the workplace, because I think if we want to talk about how to do it, we should first talk about why we want to do it. And the first benefit is context awareness, just being in the know, understanding what's happening around us, overhearing all that peripheral information. It can keep us focused and aligned with the team. The second point is alignment, right? When we can see what people are working on, we can stay aligned with them. Behavior is implicit because we can see each other, we can easily make inferences. The next benefit of overhearing is fast problem solving. Watching somebody struggle can be very motivating for others in the group to stop what they're doing and help or chime in. The fourth benefit is feeling connected to the company. Just being together helps us get to know each other better and feel more connected to each other and to the place in which we're sharing together. And the fifth benefit is, of course, the serendipitous interaction. Just being together and having random things happen. It's very difficult to simulate that online. Now, there are not just benefits to overhearing, there are some serious drawbacks. And the first ones, of course, are the noise and distractions. I know for myself that I started working remotely almost 20 years ago because there were so many noises, so many distractions, so much happening at the office that I had a very difficult time focus. There was just so much noise, I remember. And so I went remotely to begin with just to be able to concentrate. I practically live in my noise canceling headset. It really does help. But at home, I have a much more private environment where I can really focus and do good work. The second drawback of overhearing is exclusivity. If you're not in the know or if you're not part of the cool kids or the popular group, it can really lead to a feeling of exclusivity. And that is not fun at all. All right, so now that we understand the benefits and the drawbacks, let's talk about how do we simulate that feeling of overhearing online. So, if we're trying to recreate context awareness, one of the things that we can do is to make our work more visible to our colleagues. Or, in other words, we can work out loud. There are many ways of working out loud, everything from task boards to just daily stand ups to sending a status update onto what you're working on. The next thing you can do is virtual co working. Now, virtual co working is just like in person co working, except that you do it online. And there are numerous tools to facilitate this. My personal favorite is Welo and Butter, but you could also use Zoom and Google Meet, nothing fancy needed. But it's basically just getting together and working online, not necessarily on the same thing. You could be working on your own projects. Many groups set it up so that they've got the video on and the sound off, or even vice versa, the sound on, but the video off, so you can just hear each other, which simulates sitting side by side. This kind of working can really help create, yeah, in general, you can really actually overhear the things that are going on around you. It can also help with more serendipitous moments, but we'll get to that in just a second. The next benefit that we talked about was alignment, right? Just being together in the same place can help create alignment. Now, if we can't be together in the same place, the next best thing is to start creating a personal user manual to really identify for yourself what is it that you need in order to be productive and what do others need to know about working with you. The next step from there is to create a team agreement with your team to just define what is normal behavior for us. What are the expected response times? You know, if the boss sends an email on the weekend, does that mean I have to answer it? Are there security protocols that we have to think about? We can create a lot of alignment by just agreeing on how we're going to work together. The third benefit was fast problem solving, right? When you're seeing somebody struggle, more people are likely to jump in. With fast problem solving, I would say that working out loud is definitely going to help with that situation. So if we make our work more visible, we'll be able to see when people are struggling more. The next, though, is we want to really get good at asynchronous communication so that if we need help, that we have the appropriate channels to reach out quickly. The next is people say that they need to make decision-making workflows, right? Who has decision-making power? What are the kinds of things that we can make decisions about as a team member or as a team lead? One of my favorite exercises for this is the Management 3.0 delegation board, where we just outline who has delegation power over what aspects of our work. The next benefit of overhearing was the feeling of connection to the company. Now, this subject is a little bit tricky because that feeling of connection is different for different people, right? Some people come to work because they really want to solve challenging problems. Other people come to work because they like the people that they work with. It doesn't really matter what they're working on. And for others, it's just a job. So if we're trying to feel connected for the company, we really first have to take a step back and say, what does connection feel like for you on a team? What is it that you need in order to feel connected, right? For everybody, it's different. And then we would build the environment to suit that. Now, there's lots of opportunities for asynchronous team building. I've got an asynchronous team building guide in the super kit where you can just maintain the human touch from a distance by creating channels in your Slack group, for example, or hosting virtual office tours, starting your meetings out with an icebreaker question. There are lots of ways to build team building and connection moments in to your everyday activities. Now, for the last benefit that we talked about for overhearing, it's serendipity. How do we create that online? If you want to recreate that feeling of just bumping into somebody, well, then the virtual tools are a great alternative. But beyond that, you really want to create networking opportunities for people so that they can meet each other. And if you're in a hybrid environment, you want to create networking opportunities online, in person, in hybrid form, right? And always make it optional so that the people that like these things and that want to participate can. And those that really don't like to do these things don't really have to. And then the last suggestion I would have for creating serendipity is to make ourselves available. And my favorite way of doing that is by having office hours. Just saying like, okay, every Friday from this time to this time, I'm going to be available and people can just stop by my Zoom or my Google Meets or my Butter group, whatever it is that you're using, and just making ourselves available like we might do in person. So while there are lots of benefits to overhearing at the office, there are also serious drawbacks. And I hope that these tips that I've given today for how to simulate that feeling of overhearing each other in the office will be helpful for you. Until next time, everybody, I'll see you online. So if you're interested in learning more or diving deeper, I really encourage you to join one of our live interactive trainings. You can find those in all time zones all over the world. We've got licensed facilitators who are there who professionally train these workshops. You can also join one of our free events. We host virtual co-working often, and we're also hosting the Facilitators Playground, where you can come and learn new techniques for online facilitation. All right, everybody, I'll see you online.